And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, "It looks great, but what I really need is a superhero." So God made the fire department engineer. God said, "I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, do all of the reports, sweep and mop all of the chores, wash all of the units, clean the bays, bedrooms and bathrooms, make coffee and breakfast for his crew, eat last, and then clean up afterwards." So God made the fire department engineer. I need somebody with arms strong enough to lift a car off of an entrapped family, and yet gentle enough to tuck his crew in at night after a long shift. Somebody brave enough to drive through a hurricane, smart enough to calculate the friction loss of a 10-alarm structure fire, feeding water to 8 interior attack teams, 4 exposure teams, 2 aerial devices, and a relay pumper, all from 6 draft tanks and 3 fire hydrants with varying pressures. Stay after and roll all of the hose while crews recover and rehab. Come back to the station hungry. Do the report and reload, restock all of the used equipment or supplies. Make dinner for the crews while simultaneously giving a tour of the station and teaching a fire safety course to a visiting Boy Scout troop, and tell them that they are welcome back anytime and mean it. So God made the fire department engineer. God said, "I need somebody willing to sit up all night on fire and radio watch just in case the encoding system goes down. Someone willing to run into a collapsed building and carry his entire crew out because he doesn't want to risk the lives of the members of the rapid intervention team. Then dry the sweat off of his brow and say, 'I'm no hero, I'm just doing my job.'" So God made the fire department engineer. I need somebody who can paint the tools, fix a broken vacuum cleaner, purchase station supplies with his own money because due to budget cuts, the fire department can't afford it, recite every SOG from memory, teach paramedics new protocol changes, change a tire for a stranded person without any tools, refill the SCBA packs with his mouth, someone who will work his 10 shifts for the month in the first 10 days and then work shift trades for the rest of the month without ever asking to be paid back. So God made the fire department engineer. God had to have somebody willing and skilled enough to not only drive his beloved firefighters to and from calls, but also operate that engine with due regard, while all of the other drivers on the roadways ignore his sirens and cut him off, all the while formulating an incident action plan and unified command structure for his supervisor to implement upon arrival of a 6-alarm structure fire with trapped occupants. So God made the fire department engineer. God said, "I need somebody strong enough to cut a fire line with his hands, yet gentle enough to comfort a family after they have lost a loved one. Someone who will stop whatever he is doing in order to answer a question from a probie, then drive to the union hall to conduct a union meeting with his brothers." It had to be someone who's smarter than a doctor, kinder than a nurse, tougher than a groundhog. Somebody to restock, pre-plan, teach, prepare a budget, do chest compressions while administering life-saving drugs, starting an IV, charting, talking on the radio. Someone to cook, clean, drive, pump, write reports, speak to reporters, and finish a 96-hour shift with a smile and a kiss for his wife. Somebody who'd hold an entire fire department together during difficult times with the soft, strong bonds of sharing, who would laugh and then sigh and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says he wants to spend his life doing what his dad does. So God made the fire department engineer.